Good morning, everybody. Here's Paul Scorpin, and I'm in Paestum, in a town about 260 kilometers south of Rome. And what you see now is a temple complex constructed first by the Greeks about 600 years before the Christian era began. And it is believed that the Greeks arrived here probably from Asia Minor, Anatolia, which is today Turkey, and they brought with them their belief system. So this temple that you're looking at right now is a temple dedicated to the Greek goddess, the mother of all gods, Hera. Across from that, you see a massive temple, extraordinary temple actually, which they say was built in honor of Neptune, Poseidon. However, there's some debate because they found votive offerings around this temple of images of legs and eyes, and they believe that maybe there's a chance it was built for a version of Apollo, who was also in the healing arts. So there's some confusion about that. However, I'm here because of this temple, and the reason is because a couple of years ago I made a number of films on the island of Samos, where there's also a huge Hera temple. It was, when it was built, also at the same time as this, incidentally, approximately, it was the biggest temple in the Greek, in the Hellenic Greek Empire. And I called the film then Don't Be Such a Homer, because Homer, who probably lived around 900 years before the Christian era, was the author of the Iliad and Odyssey. And he's considered by the ancient Greeks to be nearly a god. The only thing is that in Anatolia, where I lead trips, the divine feminine was celebrated extensively, much more than the divine masculine, in the forms of Kabila, Hecate, Aphrodite, sorry, and Artemis, and Magna Mata from Catalahug. And this temple is 9 by 18 with 50 columns. Remarkably, most of them were still standing. And there's a belief, which I abide in, that a lot of the ancient gods of Anatolia, or of the Mediterranean anyway, pre-existed the development of the Greek mythology. And they were actually originally Catonic gods and goddesses. Catonic, this bad Greek from me, but it's an idea that there were gods who were deeply connected with the earth. As a matter of fact, the Hera here at this temple complex, she was responsible for the fertility of the women here, around here. She was a fertility goddess, which is actually very nice. And the thing is, Hera is definitely a Catonic goddess. That's what I talked about in Samos last year and the year before. That means she has actually nothing to do with Mount Olympus, because she predates that development. And I can imagine here as well that the form of Hera that they venerated was not the jealous wife of Zeus, and and this is what I deeply believe, and was more a life giver and a life nourish life, as it were. And if you come to a temple like this or the one in Samos, and these are the two largest temples, I think, for Hera built, and this one is much more, a lot more is here than in Samos, then you can feel that energy, okay? And it is a time that the world is really struggling because we haven't been in balance for a long, long time. And part of the reason is because we've adopted capitalism and patriarchy as the models for the last 2,000 years, or and that means we've fallen out of balance with the earth, the animal kingdom, with ourselves, the relationship between the feminine and the masculine. And we're seeing that now because we're going through a major paradigm shift where we're seeing that a lot of our structures we built up are now crumbling, actually right before our eyes. And if you come to a temple like this, which I'm honored to be here, wasn't planned, it was a spontaneous visit, then you see that there was a time not that long ago where the goddess energy was much more important to the people. And I think we're coming into a time now, and I'm trying to partake in that, where we can re-embrace the goddess energy along with the male aspect in a balance. And a message from a god is like Hera in a temple like this is, children, my children, you've forgotten who you are. You've forgotten that you are made in the image of us, male and female. And so I know that Homer is a must-read in school, but I think we have to take that with a grain of salt, because with the advent of the Odyssey and the Iliad, the male was put in the forefront. Apollo was put on the same level as Artemis, and Artemis is absolutely a Chthonic goddess, absolutely. Much more powerful than Apollo even. And that's when things started to unfold in the direction of patriarchy. So I just wanted to share that with you now, and that's why I called this film Don't Be Such a Homer 2, because here I'm standing in the middle of a Hera temple. Here was the Holy of Holies. Here's where they would then offer some sort of animal to the goddess Hera. And it is like I said, it's a massive temple, 18 by 9 in meters with 50 columns, all well preserved. So if you ever have a chance to come here and go to Samos, do so, because these temples speak to us now, maybe more than they have in a long time. And if you want, I'm going to lead a tour in the autumn of this year in and around Ephesus to visit sites like Hecata Temple, Artemis temples, 3 of them, and Aphrodite in her town, Aphrodisia, and also Kabila, as it were. And yeah, so take care, everybody, in these troubling times. Stay in hope, stay in